Well, guys, welcome to Box for Box Football. And the first day of Champions League football has officially been done. And to be honest, it's taken us through a roller coaster ride of two games. Results, one that was expected, the other one wasn't really expected. But let's really talk on that right now. And the shock of the whole day was Juventus going out to Lyon on away goals, losing 2-1 on the night and 2-2 on aggregate. Lyon going through on away goals. And Jack, talk to me about this game, because I'm still trying to get myself from it, because it was a roller coaster ride. Could they do it? Could they not do it? And at the end, it doesn't happen. Tell me, Jack. Tell me what you think about the game.
I think it's one of these really difficult ones where you can't just look on the face of a situation. So what I mean by that is you can't just look at Juve's squad and go, oh, they'll be fine. You have to look at the manager and what the manager's trying to do. The injuries within the squad, maybe a lack of cohesion, people not playing in the right positions maybe. Yet again, I would say that's down to the manager. And I think that was reflected in the game. We saw a penalty and a solo effort from the incredible Cristiano Ronaldo. I would expect Maurizio Sarri to be fired next week. I'd expect Pochettino, Max Allegri, somebody like that to come in. I think this will be the final nail in the coffin for Juve's season. And I know it sounds crazy that you can win the domestic league and still get fired. But at Juventus, who now haven't won a Champions League in 25 years, it's not good enough. And with that kind of level of squad and the players there, not good enough. I mean, the game itself, just a quick breakdown for me. There is no Sarri ball. There is no imprint of what Sarri's trying to do with this team. It's just recycling possession and then bullshitting at the end. Like I said, both goals, penalty and a solo effort from Ronaldo. There's no tactics there.
Jack, you said it all really. We mentioned Sarri ball and the system of the way the players add, how the midfield needs to be set up, and that will ultimately unlock chances for them to score. To be fair, they had 6 shots on target throughout the whole game, but I couldn't really think of a clear-cut opportunity created by the team.
No.
It's just about Ronaldo's brilliance at the end of the day, and the rest of them kind of look lost. My thing about, I was already getting ready to come on to this show and talk about how great Ronaldo was, but unfortunately, again, he probably should have scored at the end, but unfortunately, his teammates, I don't think, lived up to their hype, especially. I thought Ronaldo played his part. He brought it back to the old Cristiano Ronaldo, dropped them back, beating players, and he was tremendous. But I just felt that the whole team didn't want it. I'm playing against this resilient Lyon team who haven't played in 6 months. I'm like, what is really going on here? You have to really, really look at the manager here and question what happened, Yeah. But to me, it's not just this game. It's the last few months that you could clearly see this coming, They were 2-0 up against AC Milan. They conceded 4 goals in 18 minutes.
Yeah.
The next game against, I think it was Calgary, 3-1 up. The game turns into 3-3. They were losing games, and it wasn't like it was just close. They were losing.
Lost the last game of the year.
Lost the last game of the year to Roma. I think they lost to Napoli. Generally as a team, they have been struggling, and for them to lose, it's a surprise. But at the end of the day, they would have been knocked out anyway. I couldn't have seen them beating Man City. I let that sit, but I just couldn't have seen them doing that.
Yeah, no, I think a lack of diversity going forward as well has kind of let them down as well. Higuain was dog shit tonight. Dog shit. Provided nothing.
Yeah, he looked like an old 40-year-old man today. He looked stiff as hell. He made Ronaldo look like he was 15. No word of a lie.
Dybala, I think we got to have some sympathy for. That was a risk, and then it didn't pay off, and you could see he was really, really gutted. If Dybala had come on and fully fit Dybala, do I think that he could have made the difference? They'd have won the game? Probably. You look at Mario Mandzukic is now a free agent and was, I think, prior to lockdown. I look at a player like that and think, could Juventus still use a player like Mario Mandzukic, just a bit of diversity, that wide target man role that he made kind of famous, or even just a bit of variation to the centre forwards they had? I think there's some real work needs to be done going forward for that Juventus team in the transfer market.
Definitely. I think last year when they went out to, was it Ajax, we questioned their midfield. This year, to me, it's the exact same thing. Sarri's meant to come in and make this midfield like bring the imagination to it, the creativity. It's just sort of a backwards and sideways. There was no real idea going on there. If the ball didn't go into Ronaldo, it went out wide for a poor cross by Delina. You know, there's a lot for Juve to answer right now, and for me, it's a bad look on Serie A too, because here's a team who's won 9 titles in a row now, and they in the last 2 years they've been knocked out in the last 16 quarterfinals.
And they weren't. The thing is, as well, in Serie A, they weren't even particularly good this year. I mean, the other teams, I think, really did step it up, but there's a reason why it was so close. And you know, I think you look at that. Like I said, I do expect Sarri to go. You know, and I expect that some big changes there. I mean, Rabiot. I mean, he had some bright spots. I think there was he was running some channels occasionally. I was a bit like, oh, you know, I wonder why that's happening. But no, it's a bit disjointed, and I would think that if anybody had any brains up in the director's box, they would make a change. But one thing I will say, that game was not lost tonight. That was lost in Lyon. That was lost in France. You cannot go to France, to a team who finished 7th in Liga, 7th, and lose 1-0 to a team like that when you are Juventus. That's when you lost the game. That's when you lost the game. They won 2-1 tonight. You know, I mean, granted they didn't go through, but it was lost in the first leg.
Definitely. And Jack, we're going to move on to the next game right now. And to be fair, I was flicking through both games. I started off with this game and then went on to the Juve game. And this game I'm going to talk about is Man City versus Real Madrid. The game finished 2-1 to Man City. And let's be honest, like, Real Madrid shot themselves in the foot. You know, coming into this game, I felt the game was still in the balance, but with Ramos not being there, I felt Man City had the advantage. I said Ramos' factor was going to be a big part, but I didn't think it was going to be this big of a part that it was going to affect some players like Rafael Varane, who really, really struggled today.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it. There's nothing really to discuss here. You know, to be honest, you make an individual mistake against a team like Manchester City and, you know, Pep Guardiola, and you're arguably one of the leaders in the team at this point. You're a World Cup winner. You've won numerous Champions Leagues. You've just come off, you know, winning the Spanish League. You should really, really know better. I know that you're missing your buddy sat next to you, but, you know, I think the main thing is that if he's not there and you've got a young kid with you, at some point, Ramos isn't going to be there forever. And you'd imagine that Varane will be the centre-back who's going to be called upon to help guide, you know, Eder Militao when he starts to play more games, if that is the partnership for the future. And it just wasn't a good sign of things to come. Go ahead.
Yeah, and to be fair, Ramos, Varane obviously didn't help himself with 2 mistakes, but I felt throughout the whole night, like, the Real Madrid team was so sloppy. The midfield 3 of Casemiro, Luka Modric, and Toni Kroos, they look tired now. They look like a feel that generally needs breaking up. So sloppy for a team that was renowned for the ball retention. They couldn't really keep the ball. Man City looked just a lot sharper than them, and looking at the way La Liga was set up, they were the most fit team at the time. Then everyone's saying conditioning-wise, they stopped them the best. It didn't look like they want to be there today, even physically.
No, and I think that, you know, Valverde's looked really good. The central midfielder that Real Madrid had in rotation a little more, he's actually looked really good. So I didn't understand why he wasn't maybe involved. I mean, okay, there's the kind of experience for the occasion that those 3 have. But I would say that without fans and without that kind of real pressure, that is the kind of game where maybe you could let Valverde play and just give you something a little different. I found it kind of strange that Rodrigo started ahead of Vinicius. I don't know whether that's an injury thing or not. Obviously, I know now that we will hear all of the comments to do with Mr. Gareth Bale. And what I will say regarding him is, if he'd have played, could we have seen a different result? Of course. This is one of the greatest players of all time. The guy's amazing. But what I will say is the reason why he wasn't playing, I think he knows for a fact that Zidane is only going to bring him on with 10, 15 minutes left to go when they're still losing the game. And, you know, for him to go, I feel disrespected, I'm just going to stay here. And I think, you know, there's a certain extent of fair enough there. But no, City outplayed Real.
And I just really want to touch on City, especially. You look at the running for the Champions League right now. Guardiola and his boys must be rubbing their hands now. Lyon in a quarterfinals, a semi-final against a Barcelona Bayern is going to be tough, but Man City might be favourites to win this whole thing. Like,
I would also say that every single manager that Pep is now going to face going forward, I think Zidane, you'd have thought, would have been the biggest threat because of his achievements, especially in the Champions League. You'd have thought that would be the biggest threat. I would say right now that regardless of who he's going to be facing, Pep is surely going to have the tactical advantage to know what's going on. I'd say that his squad and his first team are going to be able to match up really with any opposition they face. The biggest test will be Bayern. And even then, who do we think knows that Bayern team better than most people? Pep Guardiola.
True.
Things are starting to look, City's way. And I would say, especially without Liverpool in the competition, this is going to be easily their best chance to win a Champions League.
My thing with this Manchester City system is that before with Guardiola, he would always kind of go with his style of, tiki-taka football. We're really going to spread the game out and really take it to the team. I feel like he's understanding Champions League football a bit more now, and he's willing to be a little bit more cautious than ever. He realized that he can't go gung-ho and play his system against the best teams in Europe because at the end of the day, they're not the best team anymore. And now they have to be a little bit more cautious. And like with them making this little adjustment right now, they are really a threat because on the counter-attack, going forward, they're one of the most scariest teams in Europe right now. I can see them doing this against Bayern Munich. Will it work? That's another question because the two Bayern centre-backs to me are amazing athletes that will not get caught out the way Real Madrid once did. But again, we just got to wait and see with that. Yes, guys, thank you for watching. This is the first day of the Champions League. We got games tomorrow. Don't worry, we're going to cover that. Guys, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and me and Jack will see you next time.